Hello, welcome to the new video The Love of Milim and Rimuru by BenGrem1234. Chapter 49. Battle with the Empire. Testarossa walked until she approached a giant door. Reaching the door, she saw that Diablo, Ultima and Carrera were already there. It looks like Testarossa is the last one to finish, Carrera said with a smirk. I was having a nostalgic conversation with my opponent that I lost track of time, Testarossa said with a closed-eye smile. Now that we are all here, it is time to pay the Emperor a visit, Ultima said. You are right about that, Carrera, if you would. Diablo turned to Carrera. Say no more. I'm on it. Carrera moved to the front of the massive door. She touched the door with her right hand and after a few seconds, the door along with parts of the airship connecting the door exploded. After the explosion died down, the demoness trio along with Diablo entered inside the room. They looked and saw Emperor Rudra seating in his throne, and by his side seating in her own throne is a sleeping BenGrem. Standing behind Rudra is a thin man with blonde hair who was glaring at the four of them. Carrera looked at the man behind Rudra in shock. The heck is Fieldway doing here? I didn't think that Phantom King Fieldway is involved in this. This will be annoying, Diablo said in annoyance. What does it matter if he is here or not? If he is involved, then we will take him down along with the Emperor, Ultima said in a bored tone. Ultima is right. We have our orders from Lord Rimuru. Leave no survivors except for Emperor Rudra. We must carry out our Lord's order at all cost, Testarossa said while getting out her whip. Rudra, who was calmly watching the four demons, began to laugh. Ha 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 ha. I suppose a congratulation is in order for defeating all my men. It took me a long time to gather all of them, you know. I permit you four to state your names. Diablo stepped forward. Where are our manners? My name is Diablo, faithful butler of Lord Rimuru. The three behind me are Testarossa, Ultima and Carrera. Rudra nodded. Now what do you four want? From what you were saying earlier, it seems you want to capture me, yes? Exactly. We have been ordered to leave no survivors behind except for you. If you can surrender now, it will seriously save us a lot of work, Diablo told him. How arrogant of you, Diablo. Do you believe that you four have the power to best both Rudra and me? Fieldway asked. After Fieldway asked that, the sleeping BenGrem by Rudra's side woke up in panic and looked around the room before spotting the four demons who were looking at her. She ignored them and turned to Rudra. Rudra, quick, we have to escape before that demon lord gets here, BenGrem said in haste. What seemed to be the matter, BenGrem? Is demon lord Rimuru that strong as to make you this afraid? Rudra asked her. He is much worse. That person is no demon lord. He is a god who stands above everything. In all my life, only elder brother has ever displayed the same kind of power he has. Our skills and power doesn't matter before him. Nothing matters before him. If we don't escape now, we would never get the chance to do so. Just now, he easily beat me and ate my main body. I'm afraid that he will be coming for you next, BenGrem told him with her panic voice. Carrera smirked after hearing what BenGrem said. Amazing. Even the almighty BenGrem is rendered helpless before our lord. I knew Lord Rimuru will win, but truthfully, I didn't think he would win in such a way that will leave Lady BenGrem frightened like a little girl, Ultima said with a smile. I already knew from the first moment I laid eyes on him that Lord Rimuru was perfect. He is the only one who can be my lord, Testarossa said with a proud tone. Kuf foo 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 foo. It seems that Lord Rimuru will be coming here soon. We must finish our mission before he gets here, Diablo said to the demoness trio. Fieldway grew worried after hearing what BenGrem said about Demon Lord Rimuru. He turned to Rudra. I think it's time to carry out your plan before that demon lord gets here, Lord Michael. Rudra, whose identity is revealed to be Michael, nodded. You were right. Things are not going how I predicted, all because of an outliner like Demon Lord Rimuru. I must speed up my plan now. Saying that, Rudra or Michael stretched out his hand and pierced BenGrem, who had a shocked look on her face. Why? Before BenGrem could ask, she screamed in agony as Michael removed his hand along with a bright red palm-size orb. BenGrem fell to the floor after that without moving. Soon after, she disappeared without a trace. Michael absorbed the red orb inside his body. Ha 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 ha. I have finally collected BenGrem Dragon Core. We have no reason to remain here, Fieldway. Let us leave before Demon Lord Rimuru gets here. You honestly believe we would let you leave? Carrera said as she fired her judgment bullet at Michael. The bullet had more power than when Kondo was using it. It traveled to Michael in an instant, but it was stopped by a golden barrier that appeared in front of Michael and Fieldway. What the heck? Carrera asked in confusion. Ultima, not wasting time, fired her purple flame at Michael, which caused an explosion when it impacted with them, but the golden barrier received all the impact of the flame without a single scratch. Both Carrera and Ultima grew annoyed at the barrier and began to fire all forms of attack at it. "It's useless, you stupid demons. No amount of attack that you two can make will be able to damage the castle guard," Fieldway told them in a mocking tone. Diablo turned to Testarossa. "This may require that power of your." "I'm on it," Testarossa said as she moved in front of both Carrera and Ultima, which caused them to stop their attacks. She looked at the castle guard in a calm manner while slowly releasing her aura. "I don't know what you are planning, but you are mistaken if you believe that you can penetrate the castle guard. It has enough defensive power to withstand a Big Bang explosion without a single scratch on it," Fieldway told her in a mocking way. Testarossa ignored him and sent her whip at the castle guard. When her whip made contact with the castle guard, it shattered it and went straight for Fieldway. The confused Fieldway didn't have time to dodge the whip as it pierced his stomach. Testarossa, using her strength, pulled back her whip along with Fieldway. With Fieldway close by, Carrera dashed at him with her sword and slashed him in the chest with it. Not wanting to let the opportunity go, Ultima ran up to Fieldway, who still had Testarossa's whip in his stomach, and punched him in the face with her fist covered in her poison skill. The force of the punch sent him flying back, but Testarossa pulled her whip back to her. Fieldway screamed in pain after he felt Ultima's poison affecting him. He didn't have time to worry about it as he felt himself being pulled back towards Testarossa. Testarossa then created multiple dark-like swords in the air, which she sent towards the approaching Fieldway. Fieldway, who saw the dark light swords, began to panic. "I must dodge, but this whip is shutting down all my powers. How did this primordial demons get so strong as to rival my own powers?" Without showing any mercy, the dark light swords pierced Fieldway from all directions, which caused him to scream with all his might. Carrera rushed at the screaming Fieldway and kicked him in the stomach, which sent him back to where Michael was with great force. Fieldway crashed next to Michael while having his entire body damaged beyond belief. Michael couldn't hide the look of astonishment in his face after he witnessed how easily Fieldway was beaten by the three female primordial demon. He looked at Fieldway as he was struggling to get up, but his wounds were not allowing him. "Fieldway is my strongest subordinate, yet even him was reduced to this by this three-demoness trio. My own powers is comparable to that of a true dragon, but will it be enough to win? After all, the Black Primordial has not joined the battle, and who knows what powers he is hiding. I must retreat with Fieldway at all cost. I will just reactivate the castle guard and use the opportunity of them breaking it to escape with Fieldway," Michael thought to himself. Before Michael could carry out his plans, Rimuru appeared inside the room without a single sound and was facing Michael. Seeing Rimuru appear there, Diablo, Testarossa, Carrera and Ultima knelt down on one knee and bowed down to him. Rimuru turned to them and smiled. "You four did a good job of beating all the knights in this airship. You will be rewarded when we return home." "Your words of praise are more than enough for us, my lord," Diablo said while still bowing. Testarossa, Ultima and Carrera nodded to show that they agreed with Diablo. "You say that, but I still want to reward you four. Don't worry about it, because it is my will that you four accept the reward. Now stand up, all of you," Rimuru told them. "In that case, we humbly accept, Lord Rimuru," Diablo said while standing up along with the three demoness trio. The joy that was coursing through the four demons' heart after hearing that they will receive some reward from their lord was indescribable. Words could not explain how happy they were at that moment. Rimuru turned to the still shocked Michael and was shocked for a second. "Masayuki? No, it can't be him. We haven't had the opportunity to meet face to face. I am Demon Lord Rimuru Tempest, the leader of this nation that you tried to invade. Looking at you now, I can tell that Emperor Rudra is long dead and you are the skill Michael who took over his body." Michael gave Rimuru a shocked look. "How did you know that?" Rimuru smirked at him. "There is almost nothing I don't know. Plus, seeing how you killed a little piece of Velgrund without remorse was kinda a dead giveaway that you ain't Rudra. Since you are not Rudra, I would feel bad for killing you and Fieldway." Michael immediately activated the castle guard to protect himself and Fieldway from Rimuru. Rimuru, who saw it, laughed a little. "Ha ha ha. It is true that castle guard has the greatest defense in existence, but you are sadly mistaken if you believe that it is enough to stop me from killing you too." Rimuru clicked his fingers and the castle guard vanished. Michael tried to activate it again, but he couldn't activate it no matter how much he tried. It was like an unseen force was preventing him from activating it. Michael looked at Rimuru and saw that he was smiling to him, which brought an indescribable fear in his heart. "Just who do you think you are?" Michael screamed as he began to fire Velgrund flames at Rimuru. And just like with Velgrund, All the flames disappeared before it made contact with Rimuru. Rimuru then disappeared and appeared behind the shocked Michael while placing his hand on his head, which paralyzed Michael from moving. That's it for you, Michael. Remember this in your next life, that anyone who threatens the people I hold dear will receive no mercy from me, Void God Azathoth. And with the name said, the strongest skill in existence activated and devoured Michael in a blink of an eye. Fieldway, who saw how easily Michael was killed, became extremely frightened because his wounds were not fully healed, and even if he was fully healed, he knew that he couldn't beat Rimuru. Rimuru turned and looked at Fieldway, who was still on the ground. He began to walk away from him without killing him. Fieldway became confused on why Rimuru was sparing his life, that he asked him, "Why are you not killing me?" Rimuru stopped and turned his head to him, "Because I don't have to. You are already going to die in a few days, so I see no reason to be the one to kill you." "What do you mean I am going to die in a few days? What did you do to me?" Fieldway shouted. "I didn't do anything. You were just foolish enough to be poisoned by Ultima, and her poison is one that will kill the target regardless of his immunity or defense. It takes an opponent who has transcended the concept to be able to survive from it. Next time, don't underestimate your opponent and you shall live long," Rimuru told him as he resumed walking back to where his demons were. "I was wondering what the commotion was about, but it turned out to be you, Rimuru," a voice echoed inside the room. The three demoness trio along with Diablo got on guard while Rimuru turned around to face the direction of Fieldway again. Before long, a small black portal opened behind the lying Fieldway and a blue silver-haired woman stepped out from it. "Though knowing you, I can bet that you showed the Eastern Empire no mercy and crushed all of them." "I know I would," Rimu told him. "Didn't expect to be seeing you until our game officially began. Were you bored or something?" Rimuru asked her. "Not really. I just felt the increase in power of your subordinates and I wanted to see it with my own eyes. My oh my, look at all that growth. I will say that they are ready to face my angels, but my elite still triumph over them," Rimu told him. "You've mentioned this elite of yours before in our previous meeting, but you haven't clarified on who they are," Rimuru told him. Rimu had a surprise expression for a moment before she laughed. "Ahahaha. I guess I forgot to tell you. As the game master, it is my duty to show you on what you will be expecting. Come out, guys." And just like that, a big purple portal opened behind Rimu and people began to walk out from it, from female to male. A total of 10 people walked out from the portal. 5 female, 5 male, and each of them stood behind Rimu, who was obviously their leader. Rimuru looked at the 10 people with worry. These people he was looking at were all as strong as true dragons in terms of magicules, but what worried him the most is the fact that he could feel traces of turn null energy from them. Carrera, Ultima and Testarossa could not hide their shock when looking at 10 people behind Rimu. Saying that they were no match for this people would be the biggest understatement of the day. They who have spared with Veldora can say that the chances of even Veldora beating one of this people was very slim. If Veldora chances was slim, what chance do they have? As I am now, I could maybe take on one of them in a hard fight, but I don't think I would win. To think there are 10 of them is just world-shattering, Carrera bitterly thought to herself. This is bad. The lines of flaws I can see on them is being concealed from me. This might be their master's doing. I have no doubt that she is aware of my power and is using her own power to conceal it from me. Without my power death strike, I stand no chance against this being's, Testarossa thought to herself in worry. Are you kidding me? We have to fight 10 true dragon level threat. I almost want to quit and run, but seeing the confident look of Lord Rimuru is giving me hope that it will be alright, Ultima thought to herself. Diablo was slightly worried after seeing the 10 new people, but he couldn't show any weakness when he is by his lord's side. Rimu smiled when she saw the expression of the demons behind Rimuru. What do you all think? This 10 have conquered multiple universes in my name, so I can tell you that you all can't beat them. Rimuru regained his calm. I don't doubt it, but I have to ask how they all come to possess turn null energy in them. Less than it is probably due to the fact that each of them came from the worlds inside Rimu imaginary space, which hold an infinite turn null energy greater than. Seal gave her answer. You must have noticed the answer, but I will tell you. I created several universes inside my imaginary space, and this 10 were the strongest being who were born in the world of my imaginary space. Unlike this world where magicule is main source of energy, the main source of energy in my imaginary space is the chaos energy of turn null. This 10 are the only ones who have mastered the use of turn null energy in my imaginary world, Rimu explained to them. Rimuru nodded, but deep inside he was worried. I knew that creating a world inside my imaginary space is possible. After all, Velgrund is now safely inside the universe I created inside my imaginary space. What I didn't expect is for Rimuru to expose living beings leaving inside her imaginary space to the chaotic energy of Turn Null. After all, any living being that comes in contact with Turn Null energy without proper control will die. How did she do it? I know what you are thinking and you are wrong. I made time to run differently inside my imaginary space. I created more than 10,000 worlds inside the void of my imaginary space and I watched them grow and mature. These 10 were born in my imaginary space, which is why Turn Null energy is flowing through them, Rimuru explained. You just had to make this game more harder for me, didn't you? Even so, I won't lose to you, Rimuru told her. Rimuru smirked. Well said. It is obvious that even this 10 are no match for you, which is why we both are not allowed to participate. Do you believe that your forces in this world is strong enough to battle my own forces? Only time will tell. In 1 month time, we will officially begin our game. Before that. Rimuru nodded and one of the female with red hair behind her disappeared in a bright light, and the next moment, Fieldway's body was slashed to pieces. She appeared where she was standing before in a blink of an eye. Rimuru clicked her finger and nodded. That should cut his connection to the Great Spirit of Darkness. He won't be coming back again. Wouldn't want my rival to get a powerful piece like Fieldway after seeing the strength of my own piece, Rimuru said with a cute smile. It doesn't matter, but I can promise you one thing. My subordinates will crush your own in this game of yours. This world won't lose to you, Rimuru told her. Rimuru smiled. Till then. See you in a month and keep Milim safe until this game of ours is over. With that, she disappeared along with her 10 elite. Rimuru sighed and turned to Diablo, Testarossa, Carrera and Ultima. I guess we have won the war with the Eastern Empire. Now though, we must prepare for the upcoming war with Rimuru. Our opponent's power are out of this world, but I have an idea on how to match them. Diablo nodded. We have full faith in you, Lord Rimuru. The others nodded as well. Rimuru smiled and began to walk away from the airship with the 4 primordial demons following him.